In the year 2020, the world faced one of the biggest crises in modern history. The COVID-19 pandemic stopped travel, closed businesses, and forced billions of people to stay inside their homes. During this time of global uncertainty, an international organization called the World Economic Forum announced a new idea. They called it the Great Reset. The plan was introduced by Klaus Schwab, the founder of the World Economic Forum, during a meeting of global leaders and business executives. According to them, the pandemic had exposed serious weaknesses in the global system. Healthcare systems were struggling. Economies were collapsing. Millions of people lost their jobs. They said the world should not simply go back to the old system. Instead, they suggested using this crisis as an opportunity to rebuild the world in a new way. This idea was called the Great Reset. For some people, it sounded like a smart plan. For others, it sounded like something dangerous. And this is where the debate began. In the same year, Klaus Schwab and economist Thierry Malleret published a book titled COVID-19: The Great Reset. The book explained how the pandemic could change the future of the world. It talked about how economies might become more digital, how governments might take a bigger role, how businesses might change the way they work, and how global cooperation could become stronger. The authors said the crisis created a rare moment in history. A moment when the world could choose a different path. They believed the global system needed reform. They talked about reducing inequality, protecting the environment, and using new technology to build a better future. But many readers became suspicious. Some people asked, why would powerful organizations talk about resetting the world? Who gave them the authority to decide the future? And what exactly does reset really mean? These questions started spreading across the internet. And soon, the Great Reset became one of the most controversial topics in the world. The word reset sounds simple, but it can also sound frightening. When you reset a machine, everything goes back to the beginning. So people started asking, does this mean the world will start again? Will the economy change completely? Will governments get more power? Will ordinary people lose control over their lives? The name itself made people nervous. Some believed the Great Reset was only about improving the economy. Others believed it was the beginning of a hidden plan. Videos, posts, and messages started appearing online. Some said the Great Reset would create a better world. Others said it would create a world where freedom is limited. Because of this, the Great Reset became more than just an economic idea. It became a global controversy. And to understand the truth, we must first understand what the plan actually says. In the next part, we will look at the real goals of the Great Reset. When the World Economic Forum talked about the Great Reset, they said the main goal was to improve the global economic system. According to them, the pandemic revealed serious problems. Many countries were not prepared for a crisis. Healthcare systems became overloaded. Small businesses were destroyed. Millions of people lost their jobs. At the same time, large corporations became even more powerful. This created a bigger gap between rich and poor. The World Economic Forum said this situation was not stable. They believed the world needed a new economic model. A model where countries cooperate more. Where workers have better protection. Where healthcare systems are stronger. And where economies are more prepared for future disasters. Supporters of the Great Reset say this is not a conspiracy. They say it is simply a plan to fix problems that already exist. But critics say something else. They say whenever powerful people talk about changing the world, ordinary people should ask questions. And those questions led to more suspicion. Another important part of the Great Reset is technology. The plan talks about moving faster into a digital world. This includes online services, artificial intelligence, automation, and even digital currencies. During the pandemic, people started working from home, studying online, and using digital payments more than ever before. The World Economic Forum said this change was not temporary. They believe the future will be more connected, more automated, and more controlled by technology. Some experts say this will make life easier. Smart cities, digital healthcare, and fast communication could improve the quality of life. But others are worried. They fear that a fully digital world could also mean more surveillance. If everything is online, then everything can be tracked. If money becomes digital, then every transaction can be recorded. Because of this, some people believe the Great Reset could lead to a world where privacy becomes very limited. Whether this fear is real or not, it made the Great Reset even more controversial. The Great Reset also focuses strongly on climate change. The World Economic Forum says the world must reduce pollution, use clean energy, and build a more sustainable economy. They support renewable energy, electric vehicles, and new environmental laws. Supporters say this is necessary to protect the planet. They believe the old industrial system damaged the environment, and the world must change before it is too late. But critics again became suspicious. They asked, will new environmental rules give governments more control? Will industries be forced to change too quickly? Will ordinary people pay the price for global policies? Some people believe climate policies are important. Others believe they could be used to control economies. Because of these disagreements, the Great Reset stopped being just an economic plan. It became a global debate about power, freedom, and the future of the world. In the next part, we will look at the conspiracy theories that made the Great Reset became extremely controversial after one sentence spread across the internet. The sentence was, "You will own nothing, and you will be happy." Many people believed this was a secret message about the future. They thought it meant people would lose their homes, their cars, and their private property. Some said it proved that powerful organizations wanted to control everything. But the truth is more complicated. The sentence came from an article connected to the World Economic Forum website. It described a possible future, not an official law. The article imagined a world where people rent things instead of owning them. For example, instead of buying a car, you use shared transportation. Instead of owning movies, you stream them online. Instead of buying software, you pay monthly subscriptions. This idea already exists today. But when the sentence spread online, many people believed it was part of a secret plan. The quote became one of the biggest reasons why the Great Reset started to look like a conspiracy. Another popular theory says the Great Reset is part of a plan to create a single global government. According to this theory, powerful leaders, big corporations, and international organizations want to control the world together. People who believe this theory say the pandemic gave governments a chance to increase their power. Lockdowns, travel restrictions, and emergency laws made some people feel that freedom was disappearing. They believe the Great Reset could be used to make these changes permanent. Some theories also talk about digital ID systems, cashless money, and global rules for all countries. These ideas make people imagine a future where every person is tracked, every payment is recorded, and every decision is controlled. There is no confirmed proof of a secret world government plan, but fear spreads easily, especially when the world is already uncertain. And during the pandemic, uncertainty was everywhere. To understand why the Great Reset became so controversial, we must understand human psychology. When big events happen suddenly, people look for hidden reasons. The pandemic changed daily life for billions of people. Cities became empty. Schools closed. Airplanes stopped flying. People lost jobs. Businesses failed. And families were separated. At the same time, Governments made rules that affected everyone. For some people, this felt like too much control. Social media made the situation even stronger. Videos, posts, and messages spread very fast. Some were true, some were false, and some were only opinions. But once fear starts, it grows quickly. The Great Reset became the perfect topic for both real discussions and conspiracy theories. Some people saw it as a chance to fix the world. Others saw it as a warning about the future. In the next part, we will separate the facts from the rumors and look at what is actually confirmed and what is only speculation. After all the debates, videos, and theories, we must separate what is real from what is not. First, the Great Reset is real. It was officially announced by the World Economic Forum in 2020. Global leaders, business executives, and politicians discussed ideas about rebuilding the economy after the pandemic. There is also a real book called COVID-19: The Great Reset, written by Klaus Schwab and Thierry Malaret. The plan talks about economic reform, new technology, climate policies, and global cooperation. These things are not secret. They are public discussions, and anyone can read about them. It is also true that the world is becoming more digital. Online banking, digital payments, artificial intelligence, and smart technology are growing very fast. Climate change policies are also real. Many countries are trying to reduce pollution and move toward renewable energy. So yes, some parts of the Great Reset are real. But that does not mean every theory about it is true. Many claims about the Great Reset became popular online, but there is no clear evidence for them. There is no confirmed proof that there is a secret plan to control the entire world. There is no official plan to remove all private property. There is no verified evidence that a global government will replace all countries. There is also no proof of a population control program connected to the Great Reset. Some ideas came from misunderstandings. Some came from fear. And some came from people who simply did not trust powerful organizations. History shows that people often become suspicious when big changes happen. And the pandemic was one of the biggest global changes in modern times. Because of this, rumors spread faster than facts. Even today, the Great Reset still makes many people uncomfortable. The reason is simple. It talks about changing the world. Whenever someone says the system must be reset, people wonder who will control the new system. Trust becomes a big question. Some people trust global organizations. Some people trust governments. Some people trust no one. Technology is also changing life very quickly. Artificial intelligence, digital money, online identity, and smart systems make the future look very different from the past. For some people, this future looks exciting. For others, it looks dangerous. The truth is, the Great Reset is not completely a conspiracy, and not completely a secret plan. It is a mix of real ideas, political discussions, public fears, and internet rumors. Understanding the difference is the only way to see the full picture. And in a world full of information, the hardest thing to find is the truth.
Subscribe Info Beyond Borders now for more mind-blowing knowledge.